Happy New Year's, beer tubers! Peter, the master of Hoppets here, with the top 10 best beers of 2023. That was a very tiny toot, but you know why? The girls are sleeping. My twin baby girls, so we better not get them up. So Happy New Year's. As per tradition, we're airing a top 10 best beers with some honorable or some breweries to follow, which is the new thing we're doing instead of a crazy long list of honorable mention beers. First off, I pre-gamed a little bit champagne of beers. So we got some Geuze instead of champagne because this is a beer channel. Although I do love a good glass of champagne, and the missus and I are on our own for New Year's this year, and we're going to be popping a great big magnum of champagne. And we're going to share that all day, and it's going to be great. So cheers. Happy New Year's. Lovely Geuze. 2023 has been a crazy year. In terms of beer, yes, but mostly because I became a father and a parent. And of course, my girlfriend also became a parent. So yeah, we had a crazy year, and there were a lot of things with the pregnancy, which I already went through in a small video about it. But otherwise, also for beer, this was a fantastic year. I got to go to Belgium again, and I got to go to Bamberg again. And that was the main beer traveling this year, but that was certainly also fantastic. Drinking awesome lambic once more, and also getting to take some whales in Belgium, but also going outside of Bamberg and visiting small breweries around Franconia. I discovered some new favorites, one of which I'll for sure mention in this little breweries to follow list. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed what we put out this year. There's going to be, of course, more next year, more beer reviews. I got loads of stuff right now. Like, we're actually packing up the apartment because the apartment is too small for us. We're moving. So in the new year, you're going to see a new setting at some point. But I got boxes of beer all over the living room right now. I wish I could show you guys. It's it's nuts. But twin girls and two adults with a lot of stuff and a lot of hobbies in a 65 square meter apartment. That's not a lot of space. So yeah, let's go through the list here. Of course, as per usual, the top 10 beers of 23 will be a cavalcade of when we tried the beers. But otherwise, let's go through these breweries to follow. And there's a few newcomers, but also a lot of old money brewers that I think needs a mention. So first off, a brewery new to me, Brauerei Wagener in Merkendrof in Germany. Outside of Bamberg, small brewery. One of the best breweries we visited. We only got to visit, what, 4 or 5? 4? When we were outside Bamberg. But that was the first spot, and it was one of the best. Their style is Franconian, but with more hops, which I love. I even scored their box in 95, and I was like debating on putting them on the list, but it ended up being another beer. But man, I can't remember the last time I had box that were that good, and actually had me excited. So yeah, they make a plethora of beers, and you'll see their beers because I got their entire range to try, which is going to be fun. Up next is also a brewery from Germany, Andechs. Andechs Klosterbrauerei Andechs, I think that's the name. I haven't drunk their beers in so long. And when I revisited them this year, through Beer Dome, they blew me away. The lagers were great, and most importantly, actually, their Weizens were some of the best German Weizens I've had in years, and I was like, that made me want to drink Weizen again, which was crazy. So yeah, really a fantastic brewery that really has great skill, and we're also going to go through their entire range because Beer Dome got pretty much the last few beers they were missing, so we have those to check out as well. We got a lot of lager to go through. Next brewery to check out is the not so well or at least as well known Rotbier brewery from Bamberg. The one brewery everyone always talks about is Schlenkerla, but the one that surprised me, even though I've stayed there like 4 times, was Brauerei Spezial. I've always been like, when I've been in Bamberg, I've always been like, but I prefer Schlenkerla. I think they're better. But having their lager beer fresh was, at the source, one of the best experiences of the entire trip. It was also one of the first, but I don't know if that's also part of it, but sitting there, and it had like this very vibrant, fresh smoked malt flavor, like so almost like that juicy malt flavor I sometimes talk about. It was so vibrant and then insanely drinkable. It's almost comparable to Schlenkerla's Helles, but with actual smoked malt. And it's, of course, also a darker beer. But that was like probably my favorite of their beers that we tried there. Their Bock is also really nice, but that leans, and their Merten leans more over towards the Schlenkerla style, a bit more sweeter and richer. But as for like a session alt beer, it's probably the best. And I had to pick up some bottles to revisit and do a re-review because I always like rated them a little bit lower back then because drinkability wasn't a big focus for me as it is these days. I love beers that have high drinkability more these days, and I think they also really merit these kind of beers, and they need praise when they produce loads of flavor with high drinkability and also lower ABVs. So if you were into Rauchbier, try Spezial, see if you can find it. I don't know how much distribution they do. Like, it's a small family-run brewery. More German beer. Brauerei Zentner, or very well known for the beers that is called Das Gute Münchenbacher, or Münchenbacher Bier. They are in Münchenbach in Germany, outside of Bamberg. Stefan and his family run the brewery, and I got to visit for the very first time, and what an experience. I gotta give a shout out to Jason, who is a follower of the channel, who I randomly bumped into at Kiesmann Brewery. And we hung out, we talked to him and some breweries from, what was it called? Some brewers from America. Oh, I forget, they're in Colorado, and they won an award for a sour beer at the Brauerei at the European Beer Star. What are they called? I completely forgot it. Okay, well, we hung out with them at Kiesmann, and then we were talking about our trip, and he was like, I will join you at Münchenbach because I kind of know Stefan, and maybe we can get a tour. So we got to do a tour. You might have seen the video. I hope you have. No, you won't. You'll see that soon. But we got to have a tour, hung out with Stefan. We had some awesome food, and then drank their lagers and also their Weizens, which were really good. But we were really lucky to get to try, straight from the fermenter, their Weihnachtsbock, their Christmas bock, the latest of all the Franconian bocks to be released, and it was outstanding. And I have some bottles coming, so we can do a review of that one. But it was really fun to visit the brewery and see where the magic happens, because that's like probably one of the lager breweries that really had that eye-opening effect for me, where I was like, wow, lagers can be some of the most awesome beers around. So they for sure deserved an honorable, or a shout out, a brewery to follow mention, because I think it was fantastic. Then we got more traditional beer, slightly more modern, but from Belgium. This is the second time I've visited this brewery. This is Brasserie de la Seine. So de la Seine is in Brussels, and I think it's a Brussels institution. And if you're ever in Brussels, it's a must visit. They produce some of the best like hoppy Belgian pale ales and saisons in the city, and also on a worldwide basis. Tarsboba fresh at the source, Sennebier, even also their Pilsner, Sennepils. I mean, so many good beers. The Sennegas collab they made with Allegash, Saison de Brouwer. They play around a lot with Brett. They even have a Brett Porter. Like, very traditional classic stuff, but a dry beer, but really flavorsome and amazing. And it's such a cool spot. Like, it's a bit off the beaten path in Brussels North, but if you're in Brussels, it's a must visit. And drinking like insanely fresh Tarsboba is just amazing. Another brewery that I'm going to mention here, classic brewery that I plowed through some beers from, again, plowed through, sounds like I was hammering, but tried a few beers again from this past year, was Breweries de Dolle in Belgium as well. Classic Belgian brewer, and one beer that really just was like a moment for me back in the day was the Stille Nacht and also Stille Nacht Reserve. And I got to revisit Stille Nacht Reserve, and I kind of wanted to put that on the list, but it ended up not being on the list because it had been on the lists before. So I thought they should have a mention as well instead. A fantastic classic brewery with some of the best Belgian beers around. But what I think really shines from them is their Reserva beers, where they age beers in wine barrels. They get funky, sour, amazing. And they are really, really complex and awesome. And the fact that they changed to small bottle format this time, I think, with the Stille Nacht was quite nice, because then you can definitely sip on a bottle yourself, because it's like 12%. But that made me want to revisit more of their Reserva stuff, especially also like just revisiting Urbier Reserva. That's one of those beers that really also blew my mind back in the day. Then more Belgian beer. There's actually a lot of Belgian beer on this list this year. But Bofkant. So Bofkant is a small nano producer of lambic. This is falling off. And they make amazing blends. It was a blender that was quite new to me. I tried some at MBCC, but that was about it. But Sam and the guys make really, really awesome stuff. And I've been really, really lucky to get every single public release pack they've released since, which is awesome. This Christmas one was with grape lambics, which will be really fun to dive into, but I think maybe they will age a bit because grape lambics are great for aging. But yeah, just really vibrant fruit characters and very nice balance, funkiness, and acidity. Some have had maybe a higher acidity, but it depended on really the fruit that was in. But, you know, they're really good. I mean, there's a lot of modern blenders now. And Bucke is always the one that's gotten a load of hype, but I really think Buffcon is also fantastic. There's a few I need to try, like there's Pellicle, and there's a few, like Antidote is also a more modern blender that's definitely worth mentioning, although I didn't have it on the list because I haven't tried enough. Like, I haven't tried that much. I know it's really good, but I need to try more. But Buffcon, I've had a very good handful, so I think they deserve to mention. So, jumping on to some American brewers. The Drowned Lands. What I've had so far has been really nice, even though one can was infected. But it's a brewery I'm really interested in. They make a lot of barrel-aged beers and a lot of lagers, and they've done them really, really well. A lot of like photo-age stuff. Their IPAs, I've been told, are really good as well, but what really shines to me is their lagers. For example, a rice lager is one of the best rice lagers I've had. It was so crisp and awesome and clean, but also with a substantial hop character. Really, really good. Let's start with some West Coast stuff. So, Ghost Town. Ghost Town was a brewery I've heard of so much. Never tried their beers, but at Bourbon, Yakima Chief had a booth with a beer that they poured, a lot of kegs from the States, and some of them were kegs from Ghost Town. And they were some of the best modern West Coast IPAs I've had. We had this double IPA, and we just slammed glass after glass on that beer. It was 8%, no, was it almost 9, 8.8 or something. It was just so good. The name escapes me right now. I actually think I took a photo of it. Maybe I should mention it. But it was just like highly hop saturated, bitter, dry beer. Like totally this modern West Coast style with a blank canvas where hops really get to shine. And it was just outstanding. And that really, you know, made me want to drink more of the beers because it just surprised me so much. I thought it was just so awesome. So let's see if I can find the picture here. The beer was called Defeatist, which was, it's 8.9% Mosaic Citron HPC 586. Lovely, lovely beer. And the final brewery is not from America. It's from South America, and it is Spartacus. Spartacus is getting as good as the American hype guys. Casio is making fantastic beers. I was really blown away by the stuff he poured at MBCC this year. And I've been lucky enough to get some of the bottles from Beer Dome that he released. I've just not gotten to check them out yet, but there was some party wine. There was 5, which was this barrel-aged Imperial Stout that was insane. But yeah, really big high-gravity beers and awesome barrels. Like, I definitely think it rivals some of the American hype giants, but we get it in Europe, which is crazy. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Really a brewery also to try some beer from this year. So that was the list, and I already talked for way too long about these breweries, but hope you guys will try and check out these breweries. And of course, also check out the breweries that are going to be on the top 10 list that you'll see right after this. So thanks a ton for watching, guys. Have a fantastic 24, and here's to a great 23 as well. And yeah, I'm going to say cheers in a glass of beery champagne, or Geuze, let's call it what it is. It's Geuze, it's lambic. That's fantastic. And I hope you guys have a prosperous, fantastic new year. And here is the Master of Hoppets top 10 best beers of 2023. Holy! Wow! I wish I could brew a Helles like this. Wow, that is dope. This might be one of the best Helles lagers I've ever had. The balance between like robust maltiness and hops is so well done. Like, Helles can be hoppy, but like this has got that perfect balance between very big forward malt character and hop character, like being there without being crazy bitter or anything. Like, it doesn't feel like a Pilsner. Also because it's so much more, it has such a higher accentuation, or like accentuation on the malt profile. Like it really, the beer is focused on like being really malt driven, yet being crazily balanced with the hop.
Oh, I could drink so much of this.
Dry and some...
So bone dry and dank.
And then the bite.
Yeah, that bitter bite on the back end. Like this is a beer. Like it's also it's almost 7%. It doesn't drink like it, and it has that dryness. I guess we're looking for these days. I could drink this liter upon liter upon liter upon liter without getting tired of it.
For 3 liters.
Okay, then I'd be pretty
Pretty fucked.
pretty fucked. Pretty fucked up.
But you look like this.
Oh man. The thing is, like, I really want more people in Europe to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's so nice. It's like, it's this bright drink. It's bright drink.
It's drinking brighty.
It's drinking brighty. It's this really bright, dank, hop-centric beer, but it's clean and lean and dry and not sweet. And like, it's so different from a hazy. It's in some instance, like especially on the malt side and everything, and maybe also because there's no esters, it feels maybe a bit more simple. But there's lots of flavor, and that longing bitterness that we've also been missing for so
nice.
long. And it doesn't feel like this is like really high. I think it feels like maybe 50 IBUs or something.
Yeah,
like that. Because they're still.
It's not crazy bitter.
No, but I think that could also be because they're quite heavily dry hop, these beers. So the interplay between like juicy or like really fruity hop flavors and bitterness is like offshot a bit, so it seems less bitter because there's a lot of fruity hops. And I think that's also why a lot of people also, when they've tried modern West Coast beers, be like, oh, it's a bit too sweet. But it's because they associate West Coast, at least the old school, for being really dry, really bitter, piney, whereas these modern ones have sweet hop flavors, and then you associate like sweet hop flavor with sweet malt and whatnot. Like this is not a sweet product.
I really
you
don't
can
miss
feel how
the sweet malt profile.
No.
But that's more old school?
Yeah, it is.
That's really
It's
nice.
really different.
It's really
It's
different.
really nice.
It's really fruity for an Rauchbier.
And really
And
more easygoing than the Märzen.
Yeah, for sure. Aftertaste, the hops come to play. Really peppery, really spicy. It's like a really nice, sweet, beef jerky, fruit leather, smoky kind of flavor.
It's the same taste as the flavor, actually.
There is no competition. There is no competition. These guys make the best Rauchbiers around. 4.2%, and it's got a really, 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 really slick mouthfeel, which is really impressive. Like, it's not like crazy full, but like it's only 4.2%. It feels velvety. Oh, that is a really cool take on Schwarzbier. It's really malt-centric Schwarzbier with that alderwood smoke. And it's like, it's definitely more smoky and burnt, roasty in the taste than any other, or at least more burnt in the taste than any other Schlenkerla beer because of the roasted malt. Like the smokiness on all the others it's more of like this full-on meat, and there's the fruitiness and the Weichsel and whatnot. Whereas this is like, it's almost like slightly burnt meat. Sounds really bad, but or like heavily charred meat because of you have the roasted malt as well, which is really nice, and then like really velvety mouthfeel on it. Touch of hops, not too much, but it's like woody and spicy, really woody, and I think that's also just probably because it's amplified by the smoke. Yeah. Oh, dude.
I mean, here you have,
that's
it
good.
all. You have the base beer, you have the roastiness, you have and then you got the adjuncts.
So I will say, like, some people are for sure going to critique this for not being as rich.
Yeah.
You have cinnamon that dries out the beer. Coffee has dryness to it. Like, there's a lot of dry flavors, but I think the beer is definitely, like, it doesn't necessarily need to be more rich than this. No. It's so full and mouth coating, but then you have dry flavors.
You actually have some.
Fuck, this is good.
You also have some spiciness from the chili pepper.
Yes, like warming spice.
Wow.
Oh, that is so nice.
Sour? I don't think so.
I don't think it's too sour.
No,
it's
it's
aged
actually
really well.
not sour at all.
Oh my lord, there's so much bourbon on this.
It's so dry.
Yeah,
Funk.
it's really interesting.
Again, it has that spearmint.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, a little bit. For me, it's totally like fall spices. Like this
Yeah,
is so
I
autumnal.
agree. But spearmint also has a lot of fall spices in it. Clove and yeah. This is
Oh,
really
it's
nice.
really nice.
That's aged fucking gracefully, bro.
Yeah.
That is delicious.
But also that
The balance on that. That's why
it also has
Geuze,
actually a bit of bitterness.
Yeah,
You know,
actually,
pithy, like a pithy.
almost like grapefruit pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
just
it's not
like,
like
the pith of an apricot. You know, it has a bit of bitterness.
yeah, but I'm
that's-
almost getting like pink grapefruit or something.
Yeah.
Just like there's something that reminds me of grapefruit. But wow, this is drinking so fucking awesome. The balance on everything in here is crazy good. And then like this has so much going on. There's so many soft layers of complexity.
Yeah, it's
Not much beer with this age carries this complexity and elegance.
no. Like lambic is more or less the only style of beer you could age for this long with success, like big success.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh, my lord.
So juicy.
Oh, I haven't had a barrel-aged beer in a long time that's this drenched in barrel flavor. That is fucking marvelous. Oh, like it is. One of the things we talked about in the other beers is that like they feel a bit thinner, and they weren't like really rich. This is definitely more rich than some of the other Revolution beers we tried. Not that that was
Rich
a
and oily.
negative thing. They all had like these Bourbon County type barrel flavors, but this like it's following that vein too. But
Fuck,
it's
this is
so
good.
yeah. This is so concentrated on like
These spices.
barrel flavors.
Whoa.
Fucking
It's a long
world-class,
time
man.
since I've had a beer like this.
Yeah, me too, man. Holy shit! Wow! Oh my lord, that is. You know what? It's really rich, but because there's so much barrel flavor, it's not too rich.
No. Like this is but this is also the maximum in terms of richness in a stout. It should not be more rich than this. Oh my god, this is one of the best coconut beers I've had, or adjunct beers I've had in a long time.
If it was rich, it would be syrup.
Yeah. It's almost got like a chocolate sauce, orange chocolate sauce type consistency, almost. That is pretty fucking phenomenal. I'm looking forward to have this warm up a little bit more in the glass. But wow, the barrel expression is pretty massive, and you can feel it digging in. It's a combination of like booze, but like spicy rye. Like warming spicy rye and booze.
This is just, yeah. I can see what people think this is sharper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is for sure.
you
a
can
sharp
taste the alcohol, but it's not. It's more spiciness than it's alcohol.
Yeah.
But all these nuances.
There's a bit of leather more so on this one than the regular 22. Lots
And
of
this
char.
will be on tap on Saturday.
On tap at the Betsy booth. We got it. I know. Got an exclusive keg. But loads of char on this one.
Loads
compared
of
to,
It's really charry.
Yeah, and I think the regular BBT had a bit less of that. It's more charry. It's more spicy. It's more sharp. It's got a bit more edge. But I actually don't mind that because it just reminds me of rye whiskey. Like I actually thought about bringing my bottle of Michter's rye so we could have a shot of rye whiskey on the side just to compare. But
What would be the idea if not another taste? If it's another barrel,
yeah,
it's taste preference. Do you like the bourbon? Do you like this? It's two different tastes. What is it called? Experiences. So yeah.
I don't want to swallow that.
No.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that is complex.
Wow. Oh my lord. There's so much going on in this. It's so intense.
It's almost a bit difficult to describe almost.
Yeah. And it's one of those beers where they're a bit like, huh?
Because there are so many things
What?
so many things you can
Wow.
pick apart there.
The red wine barrels
Yeah.
suit this so fucking well.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really adds a really cool layer of depth to all that bourbon. Like that rich, like dark black cherry, black currant type flavors in there. That's usually not in a deal with the devil, but it really suits it. So much like chocolate covered, like red forest fruits, but also like raisins and figs. And,
I have never tasted a barley wine like this ever.
yeah, if you haven't tried a deal with evil, do so. Get some. This is just insane stuff. So yeah, if you guys had a deal with evil from Anchorage and Evil Twin, let us know what you thought of it. As always, subscribe to the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers to a great party one bar with Buy Wines. And see you guys in the beer review.